CR.
Hello and welcome to the Iona Athletic Spotlight interview. Ian Sachs here, your host, today joined by head volleyball coach John Killingbeck. Coach, thank you for coming on the show today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Now, we're not going to get to volleyball right away because you have some bigger news from the last few weeks. You are now a father, and please do tell us about that.
My son Kai was born on September 11th when our team was playing at Texas. So I stayed back for the birth of my child, and it was amazing. And Stephanie, our assistant, took the team to Texas and did a great job with them there. Kai came into this world at 9 pounds 15 ounces and 22.5 inches long. So he's a long baby, and and last night he actually slept some, so I actually had some sleep tonight, so that was good.
Oh, beautiful. So I guess maybe I should have you on the show more often, and that'll get him to sleep. But, Coach, what has it been like juggling head coach, middle of the season, and having a child born and, you know, a newborn child?
You know, I mean, it really changes a few things. One, I'm so lucky I have an amazing wife. She has helped a ton. She's obviously at home with the child while I'm at practice and everything. At games, I know that she's taking great care of him. That helps a ton. Two, our staff over there in athletics, Rick Cole, Matt, Brian Byer, all of them have been so supportive. All of them, telling you, do what you need to do here, but if you need to go home early because you've got a doctor's appointment or whatever, please do. Don't feel guilty about it, So they've been amazing with, embracing that, like, it is a child and there's not much you can do but take care of the child. But it changes, too, in the idea, like, last weekend we came home from a Sienna marriage trip that was better on Sunday than it was on Saturday. But it changed how you go home. I went home excited to see the baby and not just upset about the loss. I was still upset about the loss, but the excited to see the baby does help.
You mentioned how you stayed home from Texas for the birth of the child. What went into that decision? I know that's something that has been a big debate in professional sports. Giving players paternity leave and everything like that. But what went into that decision? And yeah.
My wife was very clear. She's like, you're either at the birth of our child or you're at the divorce lawyer. So that helps make the decision a lot easier. And when I told Rick Cole that, because obviously that's somewhat a joke, Rick Cole's like, no, she's absolutely 100% right. He's like, I would think less of you if you chose the team over the birth of your child. So it helps having leadership like that understands, like, yes, we're playing games and it's great and we need to, that's what we're here to do, but there are some things that need to trump your job, and having the birth of your child is one of those things. So it's great when your boss tells you, like, no, you are not coming in for that,
So now, can we expect to see Kay at some home games coming up?
Kai is going to try to be here this weekend. My wife Amanda is either bringing him Saturday or Sunday or both. We have one thing that has to come to the house Saturday, so what time it arrives will depend if Kai comes Saturday or not. But he'll be here this weekend.
Very nice, very nice. So now moving ahead, jumping over to the volleyball side of things, your first home game's coming up this weekend. Now you guys have struggled a little bit in the early part of the season, especially in the non-conference. Coach, coming back home, now having your first home games, what is that going to be like? How is that going to energize and rejuvenate the team?
It's always great to be home. Our crowd is great. In the past, men's soccer and cross country have been huge, great fans that give an edge to our stands. That's great, and our kids love it. I think any player, any sport, anywhere is excited to play at home. You get to sleep in your own bed that night before, eat your normal meal, have a normal day heading into it. So that's all great. I think the thing that excites our girls is we're young. We have 7 freshmen. We only have 6 returners, to put it the other way. So we have more freshmen than returners. And then we got injured. We've had 2 Achilles tendinitises, 2 ankles, 2 knees, and a hernia, all within the last 5 weeks. So we got banged up and we were young, and so we're starting to see some pieces. Oh, we also had a concussion too. We're starting to see some good stuff happening as our younger players are playing better. You're seeing them grow and start to understand the college game better. And it's going to help also with the fact that, like, for example, we got Carly back this Thursday, and Carly White's a junior middle who's done great things for us in the past, but we really missed her last weekend when she was out injured. So, starting to get the health back and starting to see some of these freshmen really be able to play great volleyball is really what's energized the team this week. But I'm sure tomorrow they'll just be so excited to be playing at home.
You mentioned your youth. It's 7 freshmen, more than half the team freshmen. What are some challenges that it poses to having so many newcomers?
I think it's a challenge, but it's a challenge, but it's great at the same time. You get to see them learn and grow almost every day. You're seeing them do stuff, fix things that they were having mistakes on. A while ago, you're seeing them fix it today, or in a game, you're seeing them do some great things. But on the flip side, you have those times where you're like, that was a freshman mistake. You're 30 feet off the net and you go to send a free ball over and it only makes it 20 feet. That's a freshman mistake, and those are things we don't expect out of our upperclassmen. And I think that's what college coaches across the nation have to do, is they understand freshmen are going to do some flashy, great, amazing things, but we have to sometimes remember they're still freshmen and they're going to make freshman mistakes. Now, we're trying to teach them as fast as we can to start to eliminate those as fast as we can. But when, for example, last week we had 6 hitters on the court, all 6 of those kids heading into this year had a combined 5 sets of being a hitter in college volleyball coming into this year. So, when you have 6 hitters who have less than 1 set average coming into this year, that's a lot of young hitters out there, and so they're going to make some mistakes,
Ian Sachs here on the Iona Athletics Spotlight interview, joined today by head volleyball coach John Killingbeck. Now, Coach, what have been some of the biggest improvements that you've seen so far in the early part of the season from your young players?
I think we're starting to see a few bright spots. I think we're seeing on overall our passing has gotten much better than where we were even a month ago when we were playing at Bryant in the opening tournament. Our passing had a little bit of a rough time against Santa Clara in Texas, but has been better. Last weekend it was much better. You're starting to see our hitters understanding how to attack for kills and not play safe. We have to remind them it's a fine line. We don't want to make them too many errors, but if we're not getting kills, we have to work so much harder to get a ball back to give it another chance. So you're seeing some players understand about how to go for that kill shot when it's there. And in this week's practice, we've been really trying to push blocking. Our blocking needed to be better, so that was this week's focus. And so hopefully tomorrow we're going to see us block better than we have in the last few weekends. And we've really tried to take it as a pick one area one week and try to get better at that. Last week it was serving toughness, and we thought we served pretty tough at Marist and Siena.
You're really starting to start the MAC schedule now. Last week, two tough conference games on the road, Marist and Siena, both picked right at the top of the conference. And coming now this weekend, you have Niagara and Canisius, not quite as projected highly as, say, as Marist and Siena. What are some advantages of now starting out at home with, I don't want to say easier opponents, but teams that aren't expected to be as good?
To back up a little bit, I think this year, I don't think the coaches know what we were talking about on who's going to win this year in the MAC, to be honest with you. I don't know that there is anybody, because you looked at Siena, who won it last year in the playoffs. They lost their 2 starting outsides, their starting middle. So who is Siena? I don't know. Marist, Tom Hanna did an amazing job with Marist, but they lost Tom Hanna because he went to Akron. Who's Marist this year? I don't know. And I think you can go through a lot of teams, so I think the preseason poll was really a pick-em. To be honest, I picked Manhattan to be number 1, not Marist, not Siena, and I think they were 2nd or 3rd in the voting. So, I think you could go through and pick them. Niagara and Canisius, this is what we know. They're very, very solid, meaning they're going to do very good on defense. Their block is always going to be pretty good. But the one thing that separates them from like a Siena or like a Manhattan is they don't really have what we call a banger. They don't have anyone averaging over 3 kills per game. Siena had number 1, their lefty outside, who can go off for 15 kills in 3 sets. neither Niagara nor Canisius has that, which is good on some sides. Because when that player's on, they're really hard to stop no matter what you throw at them. Where these two teams are more balanced, which can be good for a team and can be really bad for a team too, because sometimes you just need that offense. So both these teams are very similar. They're going to put up a good block, play great defense, and they're going to spread the ball around on their offense. But I don't know that you're going to see one player go off for 15, 18, 20 kills this weekend.
You referenced, kind of the benchmark of 3 kills per set as, saying that's a good average. Someone who is averaging that this year is freshman outside hitter Claire Archibald coming in. Coach, what have you seen from her? How has she impressed you? She won the MAC Offensive Player of the Week a few weeks ago. Right now ranked 8th in the MAC with 3.14 kills per set. What have you seen from her?
You see a lot of stuff, and I don't even know that we've scratched the surface with Claire. Claire is a kid that when she gets back and goes in fast on that faster offense we like to run, can just hit balls through seams and score. I think what you haven't seen out of Claire yet is her craftiness. She's a California player. California players play slightly different than East Coast in general, and she has that crafty ability to hit cut shots, place balls where most balls don't go type thing, and I don't know that we've seen that out of her in a game setting yet, so she still has some more to add in. But Claire's a kid that if it's on tempo and in space, she'll go fast and hit hard, and that's usually a pretty good thing for us or any hitter in our conference. But I think what you're looking for Claire out of this weekend is consistency. Last weekend she had a so-so match against Iona. I think she only had 5 kills, but she turned around and played Marist, and I think she had 14. That's great. We love that she had 14 against Marist, but can we get her to be consistent on both days of the weekend?
Now, Coach, again, Claire, just one of the freshmen that have really stepped into the role of producing so far this year. What are some of the other freshmen, and where are some of the spaces that they have especially stepped up for you?
Mia, our middle from Ohio, she has just gotten better and better. And this is a kid that had Achilles tendonitis to start camp, so she missed the first 4 weeks of practice. And so she's a kid that we went into the first week of the season, and she'd only practiced twice. And so her period of preseason, if you will, is just kind of wrapping up now for her to in preseason we go double days, so it takes 4 weeks to make up for those 2 weeks, and you're starting to see her. I mean, and these are practice numbers, but today, for example, she went off for, I think it was 8 kills on 14 swings. So you're seeing Mia that's very, very smart when we keep her off the net about avoiding blocks and hitting holes. Taylor Bannister is a kid that's a right side that is so athletic. She's a kid that came to us touching 10 feet, meaning she can grab the basketball rim, and has never been in a jump program or a weightlifting program. And so she's still trying to put it together, but she has some great athleticism. And the other one that's really stepped up right now is Jess, our libero. Jess, we didn't return a DS or a libero, so one of our freshmen had to win the job, and Jess has won it and has been playing really well, and there for a while was averaging, for a libero, you want to see a great libero is going to dig over 5 balls per game, and Jess is right there. I don't remember exactly where she's at right now, but she was there for most of the preseason or non-conference season, and so those are a few that have really started to show what they can do.
Coach, when you were talking about Mia, again, the injuries really seem to be a story that isn't out there. Yes, you have the youth and the freshmen, but how is this team health-wise right now, and when can we expect, barring any other injuries, to see this team fully healthy?
For example, this is how bad we were this last weekend. We had Shayna out and Carly out at the middle position, so we had Mia, and that was it. We had to move Taylor, our left-handed right side, and put her middle, and she had never played middle. And so we got Carly back this weekend. The one that I'd say we're looking at right now that kind of frees us up to do a lot of stuff is if we get Shayna Campbell back. She's going through rehab right now. It looks like she'll try to give it a go at some point next week. And then the one that probably is done for a while is Cassie. She had a knee injury. She's trying to fight through it. They're hoping maybe she can work her way back in by midseason. But we're going to have to, we can't count on her yet because they're not sure. It's not like an ankle where, okay, give it a few weeks, they'll be back,
Coach, as we wrap up here, one last question. With the youth and the injuries and coming off of a season which you guys finished 8th in the MAC, what are going to be the keys for you guys to be successful this season?
It starts with the pass and serve. If we can pass and serve, we'll be fine. I think our inconsistency in our hitting stemmed from due to injuries a lot. I think early on we were trying to go a 6-2 to try to fill in because Natalie was out for a while. We've settled it back into our more or less traditional Iona 5-1, and I think that will help with our inconsistency. If we can now add in this blocking piece that we worked on this week, that will help our defense. Our defense can dig a ton of balls. For 3 straight years, we've been top 25 in the nation in digging, so we know how to dig balls here. We just have to get the block up in front to help funnel balls to our diggers. Once that block comes, I think we'll be right there. And I think, Sienna and Marist both won this weekend. They beat us, and congratulations to them. But I don't think they're teams that we can't turn around next time we play them and beat them at home.
Well, Coach, the road definitely looks like you guys have a lot of positives to build on as the season progresses. First home games coming up this weekend. You have Niagara on Saturday, Canisius on Sunday. Definitely come out and support and maybe even see your baby Kai yeah. There. Coach, best of luck this season, and we look forward to talking to you down the road.
Thank you so much.